Hello friends, Samuel Graham doing TCGs yet again, back on my Flesh and Blood kick. Gotta get it pumping through my system every now and then. We got a Crucible of War Unlimited booster box, so let's just dive right on in. We're a little ways out from Uprising. Everfest is still kind of lingering. It's mostly past us, but there's still a whole lot of it on the shelves. But we've had the 2.0 announcement, the history packs, which I would like to get some of simply because I'm a degenerate. And that would be part of my collecting. I know it's for new players to get it. I don't want to hoard a ton of it. I like to have a copy of it. So we've still got that out in the world. Coming up on Uprising, the Dorinthia and Rhinar deck pair just released. So there's lots of interesting stuff still going on and coming around soon. We got our foil is a common brutal assault. That's a barraging bighorn rare and cindering foresight. So yeah, I mean there's plenty of stuff. Let's do this. Getting out of sorts already. But you know, oh, these are. I just remembered that these have the little tear tab that half of the time worked for me. Which those decks are pretty cool, and I feel like supplemented with something like this, like with some unlimited crew, they'd be even better. So you got a Zen State foil, that's fun. Rare Centauri Saber and Dauntless. Let's see if I can, nope. First one I tried to rip. Got it way out of whack right off the bat. Maybe we'll remember how to do these. But that, I think it's a fantastic product for a new player. I just don't love the price point for a new player. That said, I think it's still a really good product. And if somebody has been considering it and is okay with it's $50 MSRP price point, which for a 2-player starter I feel like is a little much. Now on the other hand, if you can split it with somebody, you both pay $25, but that still, I don't know, kind of defeats the purpose of that price point for me. But the stuff, especially, and granted, the Brute deck might be pretty good. I just haven't played enough Brute to really know for sure. But the Thea deck I think is pretty good. All right, there's a foil equipment Mandible Claw, which doesn't bode well for the rest of this. You got a red liner there. I feel like that probably means I don't have anything fancy schmancy in here, but we shall find out. But those decks are also cool, like just from the perspective of you feel like you're getting something, I think. Like you're not just getting, oh, this is just a starter product. Like there's some decent synergies in there. I love the art on this card, especially in foil. I think that pops really nicely. There's our first Majestic. That's kind of nutty. This, what, 6 packs in almost? First Majestic is Aetherize. Like there are actually some good synergies in the decks. They are Blitz decks, so they're 40 card decks with a young hero. But especially like these Crucible of War, if I am not speaking crazy, which my wife has been out of town all week, and I have been solo parenting, which is fair enough revenge for a chunk of time that I was having to do a bunch of training out of state for a while. So I'm not actually complaining. It's just that my brain is turning to soup at this point. And I am developing more respect for that fall. Brutal Assault. I put those in the wrong stack. Towering Titan and Zephyr Needle. This box is underwhelming me. Almost halfway through and one singular Majestic thus far. Yeah, so that's what I was thinking, is it's got the adult hero. It's like one of those things and split a box of this Crucible Unlimited and you might be in pretty good shape, honestly. You're not going to be a meta deck or anything like that, but you won't be bad. We got Emerging Dominance, Tripwire, and Benji. So that's kind of some of my thinking on that. Like, I feel like there's a pretty decent path from those to either a decent Blitz deck or inexpensively building a Rock Slide Trap. A Springboard Somersault's a fun card. A classic constructed deck that you can at least have fun with. Like, not necessarily going to be uber competitive or anything like that, but you're not going to just feel like, well, this is just utterly stupid. Why did I even buy this starter product? Flying Kick, Crane Dance, and Dauntless. So I feel pretty good about that product overall. I think it's a good one. I just wish there was a lower price point on it. Maybe like I guess what I was starting to say earlier before a squirrel distracted me. Bittering Thorns. I think I already had one of those. Dread Triptych. There's Majestic number 2. It's got both decks in that product have 2 cold foils and 4 rainbow foils, and then 2 non-foil Majestics on top of that. So it's one of those things where there's a lot of shiny coolness to it. Mavrian Skies. There's a lot of shiny coolness to the product. That I wonder if that's part of why they amped up the price, even though that probably doesn't cost notably more. There's also a lore book, which I'm a sucker for lore in just about anything, so I love the lore book. But part of me wonders if there is a Dauntless version of the product that they could have done. Like, I almost hate this, but I also wonder if they could do it, where they did this version of it that here's the foils, here's the blah blah blah, but also a version of it with no foils or like 1 foil or something like that. Edge of Autumn and Cash In. I love me some Cash In. I have a stack of Cash Ins over here. Like, I guess that's kind of what I'm getting at. Azalea, my second, maybe first-ish favorite hero. Is that there's a way to make there be a cheaper, less collectible, maybe no lore book. There's a paper 2-player map in there. Leave that in there for sure. New players will want that. Lunging Press. But like, cut down on the foils or something, and the lore book, make the box smaller and less spectacular, something like that, to give the same function. There she is. See, now you can use this with that and build yourself a constructed deck. Easy peasy. There's Rune Blood Barrier for Majestic number 3. I just feel like there's still room for something that's not just the basic Blitz decks, which are fine, but I feel like there just needs to be that $25 impulse buy 2-player product. Beast Within for Majestic number 4. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe, I mean, I don't know. Maybe everything's exactly fine the way it is. But that's just kind of my only caveat with it. As a product, like, I love it. I think it's a fantastic product. I don't actually have a problem with it. I just wonder if that one aspect of it could have been made slightly better. So I don't know. Maybe something like that'll come down the road. Maybe they'll do like a white border. Maybe that's the ticket. A white border non-foil version of it, that's in a smaller box. Maybe that's all it is to it. Ooh, Majestic foil. There's Rattlebones. But overall, I think it's great. Like, I love it. I was sitting there opening it in my opening video for it. Okay, another rare foil equipment. So I was right. Means nothing super big, but that's still kind of cool. Flood of Force for another Majestic. Starting to pick up on the... Oh, here's why in most situations this new Dawnblade is not as good as the old one. But here's a situation where it might be as good. How about that? Like, seeing all those little tricks to it come up as I was going through. Like, that was kind of fun. Like, I enjoyed that aspect of it. So I don't know. No, like, overall, I really like it. I just wish there was a cheaper way to get it in people's hands. If I could keep saying the same thing 1,000 times over and over in slightly different ways. Last pack of this box. Thanks for spending some time with me today as I'm cracking back into some Flesh and Blood. I've been diving into, especially the, as I'm semi-jokingly referring to, the Canadian invasion that is Genesis and Legion's Realms at War. Enjoying looking into both of those. But also coming back to Absorption Dome, Flesh and Blood on occasion too. I'm kind of building some more community relationships with a lot of people in all of those games, and I was like, you know what? I haven't done Flesh and Blood in a hot minute. So here we are doing a little bit of a heavy dive into Flesh and Blood for a little while, but I've got more Genesis and more Legions on their way as well. So we'll be talking more of that, along with a whole nother set of both of those games not too far away. I want to get some Jalara second, all that jazz. But had to come back to the Flesh and Blood. So here we are with that today. I thank you, especially if you're one of the people who, I know a lot of people kind of found me looking at Genesis, found me looking at Legions. If you came by and dove into this video looking at Flesh and Blood with me, I appreciate you for following me, even if it's not your bag. I see people when I know that it's not necessarily the thing they're most interested in, and they follow over and take a look anyway, and I really appreciate that. So for all of you, Fab fans or not, I appreciate you for giving me a little bit of time out of your day. I hope you have a great rest of your day, evening, whatever time of day it may be that you're watching this. See you later, y'all. Bye.